Hey, welcome in, folks. This is Babbaginator. Good to see you, Rootbeard. Okay, I think our plan, if I remember correctly, is to go rush the, I'm gonna rush out, cross the lake, climb up, check the cave, see if there is... And this is not good. One flare. Okay. We're gonna go this way since we aren't likely to run into a wolf. Okay. There you go, Rootbeard. Nice shout out. How are you doing this Tuesday? Not quite hump day. We're, this is my week before I get super busy. Next week I start teaching an online class. And while I suspect I will have some evenings free, I may not have that many. It really depends on how things work out schedule-wise. I have to still set up the meeting times with the students, which are kind of divided between East Coast Canada, Central Canada, and West Coast. Terrible. No, that's not good. Has it hit the bottom yet, or is there more terrible things to happen yet this week?
Sure getting cold.
Back in a second. I got started and then realized I was almost out of water, so figured I should go grab my water before I get too busy. Not happy with all this. How high can you get over here?
If I don't warm up soon.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my schedule thinking, I have so much to get done this week. So behind. Just lacking motivation. Some days, just not really.
It's a bit, but I'll make it.
Yeah. Some things I put off I needed to work on last week and I didn't. And some things just need to be more priorities.
Ow!
Yep, so I think I'm gonna have to buckle down and spend more time tomorrow getting some key things done. I got one work project that I've been neglecting that I have to get up and running before Friday. And I've got some applications I have to finish up. Go sleep for an hour.
Ow! That smarts a bit.
I feel like it should be sunny now. Yeah, look at that. Finally. Tomorrow night, I am probably going to be running an in-person one-shot D&D.
Perfect.
My regular Friday night game has moved to Wednesday nights for the summer. But yeah, this is one of the one-shots that I tend to run a lot, just because it's a lot of fun. It's very silly. It's basically everyone starts off as an elderly, retired adventurer in a retirement community for former adventurers and heroes. But you've forgotten almost everything. So you're really just level 3 characters that used to be big shots. And now you can barely remember how to tie your own shoes. And of course, not all is well in the retirement community. It turns out that there are some mysterious, there's some of the staff and a few of the residents have started to mysteriously disappear. There's weird noises coming from below the complex at night. Some of the food has been disappearing from the pantry. And so you and your friends decide to investigate, see what's happening. That's basically all it is, but it's an excuse for everyone to play really silly, over the top, elderly adventurers, and so you can be as ridiculous as you want in your representation of old age. It's a blast. It's totally a blast. There's always like someone who decides to play up their senility, someone else that wants to, maybe someone else has got extreme flatulence, maybe someone else has got, can't stop talking about the glory days. Maybe two people in the party used to be rivals or used to be enemies and have ended up in the same retirement community and have kind of made peace. Boy. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So one of the things I like about this particular adventure is I can swap out parts of the adventure pretty easily. There's the default big bad, the villain, or not even the villain, the major threat in the particular adventure can be swapped out. The default is it's a white dragon, a young white dragon who has taken up residence in the caverns below the complex. And there's a tribe of kobolds that worship it. The dragon is preparing to lay an egg and therefore is extremely hungry. And so the kobolds go raiding and eventually and have been stealing from the retirement community by sneaking in through the underground access tunnels and or tunneling into the pantry, things like that. But it doesn't have to be a dragon. It could be something else. The dragon is interesting just because it offers the party an opportunity to think about whether they want to actually engage a dragon directly, or if they can find some sort of diplomatic solution. And I've had parties that have, guns blazing, slaughtered everything. And I've had others that have found ways to coexist. Or, gracefully exited. Please be a bedroll. Really would like to see a bedroll. Ah, finally.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
have the bedroll. We are heavy though. The mole agent. I don't think I have. The mole agent. Is it the spy espionage show? Sounds really. If it is, I'm a big sucker for spy shows.
Jeez, this is cold.
Unless it's not the mole agent and it's the mole agent. A very different show. Best documentary. I'm so grateful we finally have a bedroll. This is day 31, finally have a bedroll. Uh-oh. Okay, I think what we should do... It's too windy here.
It's a goddamn freezing.
We start a fire, warm ourselves up, and then
One
go.
little fire.
I'm not excited about this wind thing. This is not good. We're gonna have to... Oh, interesting. The mole agent. Okay, we'll check it out. Cut figures. I haven't tried going this route before, so I'm kind of curious how far we can get. Oh, interesting. So we can then get down to a wolf-safe escape. Huh. That's kind of cool. Huh. Good to know. I don't think we can retrace our steps, but it's good to know you can at least get out from there. Yeah, part of the inspiration for, the retirement community is called the Glorious Sunset, and the idea for the adventure partly came about from Terry Pratchett's Silver Horde, which are all these retired or all these elderly adventurer barbarians, which is absolutely hilarious. And then also thinking about some other people I've known who just like other. There's a older woman character in Kung Fu Hustle. There's like a few other, characters that kind of pop out as being funny because you're just not expecting them to be like awesome at what they do. Cabin fever is gone. That's good to know.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Let's get rid of that. Do we need thermos? Probably not. I'll take the salt. Don't really need the salt.
I'm so hungry. Come on, fire. Oh.
So we're still missing one coat. Well, we should check on those guts to see if anything is cured yet. I think I told you about Red Queen, Spanish mystery series that I thought was really, really good. Surprising, interesting. Where are the guts? Oh, we left them back at the dam. Good news is with the bedroll we can now stay in Winding River and go to Pleasant Valley. Okay, so let's do this now. Oh, I'm trying to think of something. I remember something else I was going to recommend. Started watching, it's a new BBC or
Barely.
Acorn. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Let's see if I have it here. Okay, let's see. So, new series. Let's see if I can find it. It's kind of silly but entertaining. BritBox. So this is. Okay. So it's a BBC show. The first episode is okay, but it gets better. It's called Death Valley. And basically it is a young detective sergeant ends up teaming up with a retired actor to solve murders. The detective sergeant is ambitious, but a little bit neurotic and definitely snarky. Definitely comes across as like kind of Gen Z-ish vibe. And the retired actor is like definitely, he's in his 70s or 80s. But he played the detective that inspired her to pursue police work. And so, and he actually is a really good judge um, of human character, like motivations and odd behaviors and things like that. So he's very, very perceptive and insightful and extremely connected. And so even though he's been a recluse for the last, I think 10 years, 15 years since his wife died, his interactions with this detective draw him out of his shell and kind of restore him to interacting with others in the world. And they end up with kind of a mutual respect for each other's skills and talents. She sometimes is quick to jump to conclusions, but sometimes her instincts are really spot on, and she does turn out to be right in the end. And a lot of times his insights into human character are really, really spot on. But there's also a lot of banter back and forth, and it is kind of silly. The main character, the detective, does sometimes get on your nerves, at least that's been my experience, but I think like the show is entertaining. So I haven't been watching Duster. It's on my list. I think the problem is I need to figure out a place where I can watch it, because it is... Yeah, I don't have Hulu. I have Amazon Prime, but I don't think Duster is... I don't think it is on one of the channels that I have already. Which isn't to say that I couldn't sing up and subscribe to a different channel, but yeah. Okay. Okay, if we let the fire go out, we're going to have to depend again on... having a good... having light. Yeah. My roommate has sporadic access to Netflix because her family back home... their family back home has a subscription, but the TV doesn't seem to stay logged into it, so that's a problem. Oh, I do want to try Murderbot. I've heard very good things about that. Hey, good to see you, Roller. How's your week been so far? It's Tuesday and I'm already behind.
God, I did anything.
It's okay. It's okay. Comes with the territory. But the good news is we do have a new friend. We found a bedroll. Yay.
not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, we can start the fire and we can wait inside until the wind dies down.
Come on, little fire. Come on. Well, that didn't work. Come on, little fire. Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
$118. Let's see.
My stomach feels like an empty pit.
It's doable.
This pack is getting too heavy to...
Okay, let's see where we go. Perfect. So we're going back to the dam.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
So do you think we'll make it the full 50 days of this
To
challenge?
escape this cold.
I think that's all I'm doing is 50 days. I don't want to go like 300 days without matches. That'd be like ridiculous.
I'm too cold to think.
Because now that we have a bedroll, then really all that amounts to is living in caves and making fires whenever the sun's bright. Right? Making better clothes. There we go. Your turn. Of course you have to run that direction. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't like this.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do.
Yeah, we forgot the other maple sapling. Oh well. It's fine.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Just gonna warm up a little bit here.
on, little fire. Perfect.
Oh, finally. Happy day. So the good news is we can finally ditch these. Wow. So even our fire's not safe here. Ooh, miserable weather.
wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Midday blizzard. Okay, how are we doing here? Almost. We'll be able to make our first bow. Yay.
I think my stomach is eating itself.
Okay. Cured. We're good. AG, see you. Oh, big stretch. Hydrate. Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna have to get more water. Last of my hydration. And a Baba block. Uh-oh. Hinge on your laptop broke. Do you suddenly have a two-part machine? Survival bow. Oh, it's still connected to the other hinge. Okay. That can't be good. Let's get out of here before it starts sparking. See, we have a bedroll now, EG. We're like grown-ups. Not repairable. Yeah. Yeah, it was up the rope climb. And we finally got to fire starting 3, so we're no longer having to haul around all our kindling. And starting fires should hopefully be simpler, easier now. On the bright side, you get a chance to fix the mistakes. Like, so you probably have to buy a new laptop. Is that what you're saying? And then I always have these big dreams of whenever I get a new machine that I will do it right. I will set things up. I'll organize things well. And then, like, within like a few weeks, I've reverted to my old disorganized habits.
Can you eat trees? Can you eat trees? Because I'm gonna eat a tree.
We'll start with a gaming laptop and adjust things. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I never thought I'd be dying from starvation.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can carry much more. Come on, little fire. Come on.
Okay. Should we just wait? Oh, we don't have enough
Wonder if I can drop
saplings.
any of this gear.
Should we go back and grab the sapling? Maybe we should. Or not.
I'm not sure I can carry much more. This pack is getting kind of heavy.
You can tell I'm getting sleepy already. Something from a friend. Yeah, we may. Not ruling it out, yeah. Ooh. Apparently we missed these. Or did we? Okay, let's get out of here. Yeah, we might have to end early. We'll see. We'll see if I can make it at least to another 20 minutes. And it might help to take a tiny break here to read something and then maybe go fill up my water again since I keep drinking all the water. Yeah, let's see. Oops. On the wrong one. Home from a friend. Someone just sent me something, which I have not looked into yet. Yeah, so it was sent as a thank you for helping out with someone's website issues. They sent me an anthology that they appear in. I'm trying to figure out where they are in here. And if I recognize anyone else. I do recognize a few other names. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll do this one then. Oh, there she is. 91. Okay. Okay, so let's see. 7, 29. Let's try 29. Okay. Oh, I'll probably go for another 20 minutes. We'll see. Hmm. Okay. So we'll read from one of the LA poets that I know, Alan Bass. This is from a collection called Women in a Golden State, California Poets at 60 and Beyond. Ellen Bass, As Long as She Likes. On the way to the cemetery, I slept, not in the limousine that carried my mother's coffin, but out cold in a van, the family all talking around me. I was exhausted from her suffering, her pleas, help me, and enough, and trying to get the morphine to stay in the ditch of her gums. How could I not have studied this in advance? The way my mother learned to give shots in nursing school, plunging the needle into an orange, then practicing on the other girls. God only gives you strength for one day at a time. How many times did I hear her say this? Ask yourself, can I make this day? And then she made her last day. On the way back, the driver got lost. As we circled unfamiliar fields and trees dizzy with blossoms, we began to imagine we could buy some land, horses, a lake. Everything seemed possible and hilarious. We were a little hysterical, driving into the luxury of the future. I've never returned to my mother's grave, but I see her every day. Here she is, in short boots, coming back from the beach with a jar of seawater. Each morning she feeds me a spoonful, minerals. It's something she read in the Pleasantville Press. Here she's wrapping pints and quarts in the same paper, sliding them into brown bags. She's counting out coins into the customers' hands, careful to touch their palms. And here, in her bathrobe on a Saturday night, the store just closed. She bites into a hoagie, steak, and onions, sips a beer. Tomorrow morning she can sleep late. There's a law in New Jersey that liquor stores have to close on Sunday. A blessed law that lets my mother sleep and then sit down with a cigarette and black coffee, one strong leg crossed over the other. She can sit there as long as she likes. Okay. Ellen Bass, As Long as She Likes, from Women in a Golden State. And we're back. M Squared, welcome in. We were just reading a poem by someone else, an LA poet from an anthology of poems by California poets over the age of 60, or women poets over the age of 60. Yeah. You've been lurking for a bit. So, we have finally accomplished the thing that we have been waiting on, we've been trying to do for a while. Namely, we finally have ourselves a bedroll. So that means we can actually move on from here to do some other stuff and not have to worry about how to survive without. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it, folks.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Winding River time. The last time we came and checked and tried to find ourselves bedroll in here. Well, not there, but down over here. We were hoping the bedroll was really hiding in here, but we had no such luck. You check this already? They're playing TLD again. Longest playthrough. 28 days on Voyager, then froze to death and slept in the cave. Were you sleeping in the wrong part of the cave, or you just didn't check to see if you had enough fire or enough clothes, enough warmth to survive? Like there's, for instance, in right, we got this one, but we also got this now. Say hello to my little friend, buddy. Hey. Look here. Well, he'll bleed out. It would have been nice to get him right in the face, but that will do. Yeah, it will do, pig. That will do. Where are you gonna die? Where are you gonna die? So I'm glad we met him already, because then once this guy is gone, we have no predator in here. Get a... Oh no! I always worry about that. I worry that they're going to finish their animation when they're running back to me. And they suddenly change their mind and decide that they are going to try to kill me. Not enough fire. He's still running around. On a pilgrim. It is kind of wild. Should be at least a carcass up here. Alright, should be able to get at least a deer. He died. We go get him? bunny. Where's the wolf? Oh, there he is.
Come on, little fire.
Gotta level up our cooking. What am I trying to cook this sausage? Cook sausage. Thought I had the guts on me. No wonder he came out to welcome us. Where are we at right now? We are in cooking 4. But we've got a long ways to go. Trying to think of some of the dumbest ways I've died and run, and I think some of my favorite dumb ways to die have been, I think it was in Bleak Inlet. I spawned in Bleak Inlet almost immediately, ran into timberwolves, and then in the effort to run away from them, I ran over a hill, not realizing the other side of the hill was just a fall into the river. So I died. It was either Black Rock or Bleak, but I think it was Bleak. Anyways, I died from the fall. It was a silly death. Oh yeah, I've also died walking into a campfire.
sun is setting.
The campfire I built to save myself from freezing to death, I then stumbled into and died. That was pretty sad. Oops.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, that's pretty sad too. That's pretty sad too. Exit the wrong side. I think we'll be fine. Started to run, broken railroad, couldn't find the light source. Blizzard, day one, lost me. Ooh. Hmm. It's doable.
Damn it. So hungry.
Okay. Let's leave this here for now. Let's leave these guys here for now as well. Life pre-customization update? Honestly, I still have
Come on,
not
Fire.
done anything with customization.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. Let's see if we can keep this going. Oh no! Well, that's why we had a backup. Let's go and move that fire into the... No, actually, we'll probably make the fire here.
I can't feel my feet. Damn. I'm freezing.
Okay. Now, we almost made it to 2 hours. We're at an hour and 45. Okay. We're all set up.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay, let's okay, we've got all our stuff. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll wrap up as soon as we get back to the cave. We'll start fill. So waiting. No, I guess it's not quite. End of day, so we'll probably. That's annoying. Okay. What we can do here, make some fire hardened arrows. We're hunting rabbits. It's all windy and nasty out there.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Food poisoning, here we come. Nope, no food poisoning.
I could eat a horse.
Well, that seems pretty terrible out there.
I'll die if I don't get some food soon.
Okay, I think we should wind down now. So we are officially on day 35. We killed ourselves our second wolf. Ooh, save. And yeah, let's read something and then find someone to read. Yeah, I guess we could read at the end of poetry. Maybe we'll do 2 poems. We'll do an old poem, like we've been doing. We've been pulling out like obscure things that I wrote early on that didn't make the end, didn't make final selection. So never made it into any books. Let's see here. Oh, you know what we should read? We should go, oh, this is back in the worse than first stage. This is a few of my high school poems that I still have access to here. Okay, so this is what is always referred to as juvenilia, as in stuff written when writers wrote this when they were young and then are embarrassed by it because it's not at all what they ended up writing in later years, or it's overly ornate, or it's stupidly melodramatic, or extremely angsty. I.e., it's high school poetry. It's what we wrote when we were like depressed or melancholy and obsessed with being melancholy. Yeah. So this one's for the wolves. This is called Midnight Shadows. And like I said, this is old, ancient stuff. Thin gray wolves against a darkening sky howl in anguish cold, their midnight songs to the empty air, echoing on across the plains, deep and black and dark despair. Their cries pierce the waking souls of those that wander broken dreams and bridge the void in silence bold that fills the night with haunting stares, still gleaming in their frozen eyes the shimmering face of an icy moon. So, but it's wolves and it's long dark, so it kind of fits in. Yeah, so there's that. And then we'll read something from The Lost Country of Sight. Do, 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 do. I think we had Home Chooser told us to read At the End of Poetry. So this is from The Lost Country of Sight, published by Inhinga Press, 2008, winner of the Philip Levine Prize. My first book of poetry. At the end of poetry. First, the high, brilliant sky in its perfect cold. The snow laid down in drifts as thin as flame, and the last taste of barbed wire rusting on the post, almost gone. From the memory of one thing comes another, grief embodied in a scarf whipped free by the wind, the red-tailed hawk spun in the distant sun, the smallest of satellites, the frozen earth complete with tiny lakes of glass. Here, almost invisible, against the deafening fields, the remains of a small boat sunk low in the drained slough, forgotten but for the crows and the few final reeds that persist in its shade. These are journeys we never take, but fold back over again, clippings of fires, wars, deaths, rebirths. At night the coals settle in the stove, the kettle steams. Outside, always a man in a heavy coat, with a lantern in hand, moving through the dark towards the whitening ghosts of trees. Um, so I think one of the reasons why I like this poem is that I wrote this years before I started playing TLD, before TLD was even a thing, right? And yet now, whenever I read this, I just feel like there's so much imagery that feels like it's lifted directly out of the game. So you have the high, brilliant sky and the perfect cold. When you go out and it's that perfect blue, that really pale or sometimes slightly rich blue in the game, those are really, that's when so the sky is the highest. It's like the clouds are invisible because they're so high. The pressure, um, the barometric pressure is very high, right? And so everything is elevated. The world feels gigantic in those moments. Um, and then you got the snow, you got the barbed wire fences, and you got even like the scarf whip free, like which if you play through the story mode through Wintermute, you get a little bit of that when Will's trying to track down Astrid, and he just sees bits of her scarf trapped on the trees or in the fence. Um, and a lot of the scenery are like things that I saw like when growing up, part of my childhood in the prairies, seeing like the slough is just sort of like a small pond that sometimes turns into a marsh and sometimes turns into like just it's just where runoff water goes sometimes. So it gets drained and you have like a little boat trapped in there. Um, and the man in the heavy coat, you know, when I wrote this, I was thinking partly of the image of the hermit in the tarot, like in the Rider, was the Rider White weight tarot deck, very classic tarot deck. Anyways, there's a figure of a man in a coat, long coat, a robe, hooded, with a lantern moving through the dark. And it kind of overlaps with like the way in a storm, a farmer or my father might have been out, trying to get someplace, get to the car, get to the garage, get to wherever. Or if you were on the farm, crossing the farm, in the blizzard, trying to get to, whatever it was that you're trying to get to. It was a bad idea. You shouldn't be out there in the first place. You just stay inside. But yeah, so those are kind of the images where that all originates from. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to get ready to wrap up here. See who's available. Let's see, Deadpool's up. TikTok Dad. Firestriker. What in the world is Interloper? Is this person streaming or not streaming? Harder than Gunloper. It looks like that person's. I guess we're going to Deadpool. And in a while, we'll hop over there. Good night, folks. Yeah, we're heading out soon too. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We made it 2 hours, so it's usually my goal. We're gonna head out to Deadpool's channel. See how the Deadpool's stream goes. Deadpool's doing Misery Day 40. Going to make a coat. Okay, let's head on over. Thank you all. Good night. I'll be back on Thursday.